for President Donald Trump's first 100 days, but has since retreated to anchoring only Mondays. The latest ratings for the briefing with Jen Psaki came on May 22nd, when it failed to crack the coveted 1 million viewer mark. Sean Hannity's show on Fox News, which also airs at 9 p.m., had 2.3 million total viewers that night. I don't care. Those are fake numbers.
In this video, we're back with Tim Pool and the crew over at Timcast IRL. Tim Pool and his panel discuss MSNBC's Rachel Maddow and her sinking ratings. With that, let's watch Tim Pool wreck Rachel Maddow and MSNBC.
Fresh embarrassment, they call it. Yeah, MSNBC's ratings are so apocalyptically bad, I don't actually know how these networks survive the next 5 or so years. Now, of course, we talk about this quite a bit because it seems not a week goes by we don't see the collapsing ratings of the narrative machine. Now, this is true for Fox News as well, but Fox News is still hitting several 100,000 in the key demo. I'm going to say this first and foremost, my friends. I don't rightly care right now about the 70-plus demographic. I just don't. They largely watch cable TV news to the millions. They're not really watching shows like this. I'm not saying I have no respect for the older generation. I'm saying I don't care to pander to 70-plus-year-olds who live in a world of cable TV news, and that's all they're watching. And I don't think that it's relevant to the shape of this country, nor do I think anybody who is working politically should be factoring that in to their future plans. That is to say, MSNBC is not able to muster up any kind of legitimacy right now. The best they can do is 700,000 70-year-olds. The one age group that hates Donald Trump. Now, Fox News seems to be doing somewhat all right. Their clips on YouTube do fairly well, and Jesse Waters gets about 500,000. Well, I think the latest ratings are 300,000. It's political off-season, so everybody goes down a little bit. But this is why they're looking for the liberal Joe Rogan. Let's start from the beginning. MSNBC revamped their lineup, hoping to bring in some new ratings. And they brought in some nobodies, people without merit, talent, insight, capability, and their ratings are done. Now, I know I've said this before. Democrat media machine, cable news is dead. And that's why I said, we can do this every single week, to be honest. But here's the point I want to get to with this segment.
Tim's right. He could do this story every week about MSNBC because it seems like for years now, but especially after the 2024 election, their ratings have just taken a dump and they were letting people go. Remember Joy Reid crying and saying how important her show was. On a side note, don't you know, like, since Joy Reid has no self-awareness and no ability to look inwards, she's probably sitting at home seeing MSNBC fail and be like, and she's like, see what happens when you fire me? All the viewers go away. Even though, of course, that has nothing to do with it. The network just sucks. But you know, someone with her level of narcissism, that'll make her feel better now. She'll get out of her. Maybe she'll stop crying on camera. I do like to hear any of the major news networks ratings continue to decline, because then if people are getting their news from other sources, whether I agree with those sources or not, it shows that they're open to listening to people or listen to news from people that they can resonate with a little bit or relate to, you know? And I think it's such a cool thing that what all these platforms have done, like YouTube and X and Instagram, Facebook, as much bad as they've brought with them, the beautiful thing is in the media space, media consumption's been democratized now. We don't have to watch one of 3 cable news networks or local news. Those are our options. We can go watch someone that's in our echo chamber. We can watch someone to get a different perspective. We can watch someone we like their personality, don't always agree with them, but think they have some good idea. You know what I mean? Like whoever you relate to. Anyway, it's just funny to me, MSNBC, and I haven't looked, but I just have to imagine all legacy news media's stock price has just been tanking since the election. But I need to take a look. Anyway, let's get back to the video.
Right now, these news outlets are talking about how MSNBC's ratings couldn't crack 1 million. And that is specifically in 70-plus demographics, the 70-plus demographic. Fox News does 3.5 million in the 70-plus. And I call it the 70-plus because it's the average, all viewers. But they're only doing a couple 100,000 in the key demo. What does that mean? My friends, Fox News even can't sustain this budget, spending this much money if they're not getting enough views. Now, 300,000 ain't so bad. But right now, let's take a look at the numbers. MSNBC getting 700,000 views. Sure, they can sell some products because they're getting 700K views. That's not bad. They can sell ad rates for maybe $8,000 or $9,000 on their cable network, and they could maybe pull in $80K per hour. Seriously, just in 1 hour. But is that going to cover the exorbitant salaries they're paying these staff? What's going to happen is they're going to drop down the salaries of these individuals. Likely the reason why they're doing this revamping, they can't afford it anymore. But the big picture, we don't have to even wait 10 years. What's going to happen is a cascade failure. Right now, for cable TV networks, they're largely selling ads to old people. Pharmaceutical ads, reverse mortgages, for real. I watch them, and that's largely what they do. This means that they are sustained primarily by services to the elderly who are going to start dying off. They already are, but, this is going to happen. The boomers are going to die. We don't need to wait for every boomer to die. It might only be around 10 or 20% when they can no longer sustain the infrastructure of their studios based on how many viewers they're getting. Let's actually read the story here from the Daily Mail, and I'll give you some context. Viewers are fleeing MSNBC just weeks after the liberal network debuted a new primetime lineup in a bid to salvage tumbling viewership. Yeah, that backfired. So far this month, MSNBC dropped 41% in the primetime demo and 34% in the total day demo compared to May of 2024. In a stinging blow for Jen Psaki, who on May 5th took over for Rachel Maddow during the 9 p.m. time slot. Maddow, who's been the top host of the network for years, previously said she had faith that Joe Biden's former press secretary would do even better than her in the role. She's not, by the way. Maddow temporarily returned as the 5-night-a-week primetime host to cover President Donald Trump's first 100 days, but has since retreated to anchoring only Mondays. The latest ratings for the briefing with Jen Psaki came on May 22nd, when it failed to crack the coveted 1 million viewer mark. Sean Hannity's show on Fox News, which also airs at 9 p.m., had 2.3 million total viewers that night. I don't care. Those are fake numbers. Let's talk about the actual core base of this nation's workforce. Psaki's show performed dismally in the 25 to 54 key age demo, only pulling in 55,000 viewers in that category. By comparison, Hannity had 210,000 viewers in that demo. It's all done. It's all garbage. I am sick of it. It's over. You know what, man? There will be likely more viewers in the key demo on this video than these cable TV channels can muster up. Now, to be fair, we're in a political offseason, so my segments, I think we're averaging like 150, whereas, this is how it goes. Midterm year, you get a decent boost of views, like the viewership goes up. Then you have primary year, presidential primary year, starts to go up. Then you have presidential election year, which is chaos. There's the 1 year in the cycle. This year, they're not so good. Views aren't so great. So naturally, views are down. But let me just stress, my friends, I believe we don't have the complete ratings from last night's Timcast IRL because it's not even been 12 hours. Well, it's been, I think, literally 12 hours. But
Tim mentioned the bloated salaries to these stupid anchors over at MSNBC. That's something that's bothered me forever. A couple things. First, how do they afford these people when they're constantly over a large sample size? The anchors they choose just don't attract viewers. So the second question is, who are the producers, programming directors that think it's worth keeping these personalities? No one's watching your channel just for them. I mean, a very, very small percentage of it. Hire some kids like out of grad school and they can speak relatively well on camera and just put them in the spot of your quote-unquote big stars. You save money immediately, tens of millions of dollars, by not paying these people that don't deserve $200 for the year. And most likely because the personalities you've always chosen aren't very interesting and aren't that appealing to audiences. Most likely the new person you put in the role that you're paying about a tenth of what you were paying the old person, they probably get better ratings. Anyway, let's wrap it up.
the night before, I think we're looking at 650 to 700,000, which puts us at around 550 to 600 in the key demo, not including segments. When we factor in all of the ancillary posts, we do maybe, I think we're doing right now maybe like 2 to 3 million views total for the content produced off one episode. But for the full episode itself, 2-hour-long show, technically it's a 3-hour-long show on Rumble, we're looking at around 650, 700 for just the episode 2 nights ago. A week before that, some of the episodes were doing 700 or 800. And after a few weeks, we hit that number. I am proud to say that And call it humble bragging, call it gloating, whatever you want. What I am sick of is this world that we live in where the opinions of people no one listens to are treated as breaking news. You know, I sat down with Bill Maher.
You'd think I'd be in a rush to see MSNBC fail, but just watching the ship sinking and knowing that there's no hope for them is enjoyable for all the lies they've told the American people. But we want to hear from you. What did you guys think about Tim Pool's comments on MSNBC, their staggeringly low ratings, and Jen Psaki and Rachel Maddow? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, as always, really appreciate you watching, and we will see you on the next one.